Close your eyes, dear dreamer. Tonight, we wander through forgotten temples, quiet deserts, and moonlit groves, where the voices of gentle women once guided whole communities. Their whispers float like incense in the night air, soft prayers, lullabies, and sacred songs that carried people into peace. This is not a tale of power or conquest, but of care and spirit. These women, priestesses and dream keepers of ancient cults, guarded mysteries of the earth and sky. Let us drift together into their stories, not as lessons to study, but as lullabies for the soul, slow, calm, and filled with light. The night opens slowly. The desert is quiet and the air is cool. Above the still land, a pale moon hangs, casting silver light across stone and sand. The stars shimmer faintly as if keeping watch. Far in the distance, a temple rises. It is not loud nor grand in its voice, but calm and waiting. The stone walls glow softly in the moonlight, and the steps leading upward are kissed by shadows. This is a sacred place, kept alive by song, by prayer, and by the gentle devotion of women who guard its mysteries. The goddess Inanna is remembered here. She is love and she is power. She is the morning star and the evening star, but tonight she is simply presence, a quiet warmth carried in the hearts of her priestesses. The air carries the faint smell of burning oils. Sweet, slow smoke curls upward, drifting like a soft veil. Torches glow in steady rhythm, their flames moving with the breeze. You can almost hear the distant hum of voices, low, steady, like the earth itself whispering. At the edge of the temple, a woman stands. Her robe is linen, woven with care. It flows around her like water, moving when she moves, resting when she is still. Her eyes are soft, lifted toward the glowing face of the moon. This is the moonlit priestess. She is both keeper and dreamer, both watcher and guide. Her hands are raised, palms open. No haste, no urgency, only stillness, only quiet offering. The sound of her chant begins, slow and low, like the first touch of wind at dusk. Her voice does not seek to be heard by crowds. It seeks only to rise toward the stars, a thread of sound tying heaven to earth. Other women gather near her. Some carry baskets filled with petals, their fragrance drifting sweetly into the night. Some bring water from the river, cool and shining beneath the moon. Some carry instruments of string and drum, though no harsh sound will be made tonight. Only gentle rhythms, only soft plucked notes like footsteps of angels upon the air. The priestesses circle the altar, where carved stone bears the marks of time. It has stood through years of sun and storm, through seasons of harvest and of flood, and still it stands, holding the prayers of countless nights. Upon the altar rests bread, fruit, and fragrant oil, gifts for the goddess given not with fear, but with devotion. Each offering is placed with care, as if every movement is itself a prayer. The moonlit priestess lowers her hands. Her chant fades into silence, but the silence is alive, like the hush before dawn. The other women close their eyes, breathing in rhythm, hearts moving together like tides. In this quiet, the goddess is near, not seen in form, but felt in spirit, like the warmth of sun on closed eyelids, or the hush of wind in tall grass. Stories say that Inanna once descended into the underworld. She went through 7 gates, leaving behind her crown, her jewels, her robes, until she stood bare before the Queen of Death. She faced silence, darkness, stillness. Yet she returned, reborn with wisdom, carrying the strength of both shadow and light. The priestesses remember this story tonight. They do not tell it with many words. They tell it with their bodies, with the tilt of a head, the lifting of a hand, the sway of a robe in moonlight. They tell it by standing in stillness, accepting silence, breathing in both shadow and glow. The story becomes part of the air, part of the night, part of the listener's dreaming heart. A soft drumbeat begins, not loud, not sharp, just a heartbeat in the air. One priestess touches the skin of the drum with open palms, each sound spreading like ripples in water. Another plucks a string, the note hanging in the night like a star about to fall. The music is not fast. It is slow, patient like breath. It pulls the mind into calm waters, where thoughts drift and rest. The moonlit priestess moves now, step by step around the circle. Her feet are bare, touching cool stone. Every step is steady, unhurried, like the passing of time itself. Her arms sway, sleeves flowing like clouds across the sky. With every motion, the night feels softer. The stars feel closer. The earth feels safe. The women sing together now, Their voices are not the same, yet they blend, weaving a sound that is both many and one. It is not a song of command. It is a lullaby for the soul. Words float gently upward, praising the goddess, blessing the land, calling for peace. The air vibrates with their softness, like honey poured into water. The desert around the temple listens. Wind moves through reeds by the river. Owls stir in the distance, their calls echoing like low flutes. The sands, endless and quiet, reflect the light of the moon like a mirror spread across the earth. Every part of nature joins the song, even in silence. For a moment, it feels as though the world is held in a single breath. The heavens lean closer. The goddess Inanna listens, not with ears but with heart. Her presence is felt in the stillness, in the harmony, in the way time itself seems to pause. The priestesses place their hands upon their hearts. They bow, not in fear but in love. They know they are part of something endless, something wider than sky and deeper than earth. They are caretakers of a flame that cannot be touched by wind or storm, a flame that is not fire but spirit. It glows inside them, inside the temple, inside the sleeping land. The moonlit priestess closes her eyes. Her breath is slow, steady, unbroken. She feels the goddess within her breath, within her body, within the silence of her mind. The world around her dissolves into calm. Her chant returns softer than before, more like a whisper. It drifts upward, joining the stars until it is no longer separate, only part of the sky's endless hush. The night deepens. The torches burn lower, their flames swaying in gentle arcs. The offerings rest in peace upon the altar, carrying their fragrance into the heavens. The music fades, each note lingering before falling away like petals in water. The voices soften, returning to silence, like waves retreating from the shore. The temple grows quiet again, but the quiet is not empty. It is full of presence, full of peace. Every stone, every shadow, every breath of air now holds the blessing of the goddess. The women remain for a time, seated upon the ground, their robes folding around them like clouds. Some close their eyes and drift into stillness. Some hum softly, carrying the song inside. The moonlit priestess rests her hands upon her knees, serene as the moon above. No need for words now. The night itself is prayer enough. The stars shimmer more brightly. The moon begins to tilt toward its descent. The desert cools, wrapping itself in layers of silver mist. The temple glows faintly, like a lantern placed in the heart of the world. You, the dreamer, feel this peace. It brushes against your thoughts, calming the restless winds inside. It flows through you like water, soft and sure. You feel the chant, though it has ended. You feel the music, though it has faded. You feel the goddess, though she is unseen. All is still. All is safe. The moonlit priestess stands as guardian, not of walls, but of silence, of love, of the deep quiet where dreams are born. Now the story closes, but the peace remains. Let your thoughts settle like sand beneath calm water. Let your breath move slow, steady, and deep. The night is long and the stars are kind. Rest in their glow. Rest in the soft arms of silence. The moonlit priestess watches still under the silver sky. And now you drift onward, into dream, into rest, into quiet light. The night deepens. Shadows stretch softly across stone streets, and the city of Rome rests under a sky filled with stars. Faint lights flicker in distant windows. The hum of voices fades, the sound of footsteps lessens, and only the quiet breath of the Tiber River flows on. Yet in the heart of the city, a flame continues to glow. It is not the flame of a market torch, nor the passing spark of a soldier's camp. It is an eternal fire, burning in a sacred hearth, never allowed to fade. Its light is tender, steady, alive. It is guarded by the hands and hearts of women who carry the weight of quiet devotion. These women are the Vestal Virgins, keepers of the sacred hearth of Vesta. The temple that holds this fire stands round and serene. Its roof is lifted by graceful columns, open to the breath of the night sky. Marble gleams pale beneath moonlight, smooth and cold, yet softened by the warmth that glows within. At its center lies the hearth, circular, glowing, alive with gentle flame. The fire flickers and bends, as though whispering secrets, as though telling stories older than Rome itself. The Vestals move softly around it. Their white robes trail along the floor like quiet streams of cloth. Their heads are veiled, their faces calm. Each step they take is measured, unhurried, as though the very air within the temple has slowed the rhythm of time. They move not for themselves, but for the flame, for the people who rest in their homes, for the city that dreams under their watch. The fire is more than fire. It is the heart of Rome, a symbol of life and unity, of warmth and protection. As long as it burns, the people believe the city will stand strong, watched over by Vesta, goddess of the hearth and home. And so these women, chosen and sworn, give their lives to its keeping. One of the Vestals kneels beside the flame. In her hands she carries a small bundle of twigs, gathered carefully, dried in the sun. She places them gently into the fire. The wood catches with a soft crackle, the sound delicate like the breaking of bread. The flame rises only slightly, its glow stretching brighter for a moment before settling back into calm. She closes her eyes. Her lips move in silent prayer. No words are heard, yet the meaning lingers in the still air. It is a prayer for safety, for peace, for the endless weaving of life. The flame answers not with voice, but with light, brushing her face with its warmth. Around her, the other priestesses stand in quiet reverence. They are not bound by walls of stone alone, but by a bond of trust, a sacred duty that connects them like threads of a single fabric. They know that the people outside, men, women, children, sleep with a sense of safety, because this flame has not gone out. It is more than duty, it is care. It is love in its simplest, most enduring form. The temple is hushed. Only the faint crackle of the fire breaks the silence. Outside, the city rests, unaware of the small, constant movements that keep the flame alive. But here time slows. Every flicker of light becomes a breath. Every shifting shadow a reminder of the passage of years. Stories drift in this place. It is said that long ago, before Rome rose in marble and power, fires were kindled in homes as sacred centers of life. Families gathered around them, cooking, warming, telling stories. The hearth was the first altar, the first temple, a place where food was shared, where love was kept alive. Now, in the grand city, the temple hearth carries all those memories. It gathers them into one flame, one symbol, one eternal light. And the Vestals, though young in years, carry the weight of centuries in their hands. The night moves on. A soft breeze enters the temple through open columns, brushing the robes of the priestesses. The flame bends with it, not in fear, but in dance. The light spills across stone, painting the walls with shifting patterns, as though the fire is writing poetry in a language too ancient to be read, only felt. One of the Vestals hums softly, a sound without words. It flows like a lullaby, rising and falling with the flame's gentle rhythm. Her sisters listen, their hearts moving in tune with the sound. It is not meant to be heard beyond the temple. It is a song for the flame, for the goddess, for the silence that cradles them. The music lingers, wrapping the hearth in tenderness, and for a moment, even the crackle of the wood seems to listen. In stories, Vesta is not a goddess of storms or wars. She does not hold thunder in her hand nor wear armor of iron. Her power is quiet, constant, unbroken. She is the flame that warms, the light that guides, the center of the home. And so her priestesses embody that same softness. They do not shout. They do not command. They tend, they keep. They remain. The people of Rome may dream of battles won and lands conquered, but here another kind of power is honored. The power of care, the power of stillness, the power of a flame that endures through time, not by force, but by devotion. The hours pass. The fire never sleeps. The Vestals move in gentle shifts, taking turns to guard, to watch, to feed the flame. When one rests, another stands. When one closes her eyes, another's remain open. Together, they weave a circle of presence, unbroken as the fire they guard. The temple glows on while the city dreams. Families lie close in their homes, wrapped in blankets. Children sigh into sleep. Mothers rest from their labor. Fathers soften into dreams. And though they may not think of it, though they may never see it with their own eyes, the flame holds them. It holds the city. It holds every heartbeat within its steady glow. The night nears its end. The first hint of dawn touches the edge of the sky, faint and pale, like a brush of color upon glass. The stars begin to fade one by one, retreating into the distance. Yet the flame continues, unchanged, untiring. It will not dim with the stars. It will not fade with the night. It burns on, waiting for the day, waiting for the next night, waiting always. The Vestals watch as the horizon softens. They breathe in the cool air of morning. Their robes sway in the hush of dawn, and still the flame glows steady, a reminder that even as the world shifts, some lights remain. Now, as you drift in the quiet of your own night, you feel this flame within you. It is not only Rome's fire. It is the fire of every hearth, every home, every quiet place where warmth is kept alive. It glows softly inside your chest, steady and sure. It asks nothing of you, only to rest, only to breathe. It will not go out. It will remain through shadow, through silence, through sleep. Let this eternal flame guide your heart into stillness. Let its warmth cradle you as the night folds closer. Let your breath match its rhythm, soft and steady, glowing with peace. Now rest. The sacred hearth is tended. The flame is safe. The CD dreams. And you drift onward, into sleep, into calm, into the gentle light of the eternal flame. The night is quiet over the desert. The stars glow like scattered jewels, and the air rests cool after the long heat of day. Far below, the great river moves on, wide and unbroken. The Nile shimmers beneath the moonlight, flowing like a ribbon of silver laid across the earth. Its waters never cease. They rise and fall with the seasons, carrying life to the fields and villages. When the river floods, the land is renewed. Crops grow, animals thrive, and people give thanks. The Nile is more than a river. It is a breath, a rhythm, a heartbeat for the land. Beside its bank stands a temple. Its walls rise strong, carved with symbols that tell of gods and goddesses, of sky and earth, of time and eternity. Torches glow at its entrance, soft flames bending in the wind. Inside, shadows dance upon the stone, moving with the fire's gentle sway. Here, within the temple, women keep watch. They are the priestesses of Isis. They are the daughters of the Nile. Their voices carry prayers. Their hands carry offerings. Their hearts carry the rhythm of the river, steady and flowing. One priestess steps forward. Her robe is of linen, white as the first light of dawn. Around her neck rests a simple amulet, shaped like a knot, the symbol of Isis's protection. Her hair is dark and braided, her eyes calm as the surface of still water. In her hands, she carries a vessel filled with fragrant oil. The scent drifts into the air, sweet like lotus and myrrh. She pours it gently into a small lamp where flame awaits. The oil catches, the fire grows brighter, and soft light spreads across the temple. Another priestess brings a bowl of water from the Nile. The bowl is clay, simple yet strong, shaped by steady hands. She raises it high, lifting it toward the stars that shine through the open roof above. Her lips move in prayer. Then slowly she pours the water onto the temple floor, where it runs in a small stream. The sound is delicate, like a whisper. The water touches stone, reminding all who hear that the Nile flows even here, within these walls. The air fills with music. Soft drums beat, low and steady, like footsteps of the earth. A harp is plucked, its strings trembling with silver notes. The music does not rush. It drifts, it lingers, it sways like reeds beside the river. The women begin to sing. Their voices rise and fall in unison, flowing as one. They sing of Isis, Mother Healer Queen. They sing of her love, which gathers the broken, which restores the lost, which binds together what has been torn apart. Their song is not sharp. It is soft, like a cradle song, like water washing over tired hands. The temple glows with their voices. Walls carved with sacred images seem to shimmer in the flickering light. Figures of birds, of rivers, of stars, all come alive as if listening, as if swaying in rhythm with the chant. The story of Isis is told again tonight, not with words alone, but with breath and sound, with movement and silence. It is said that Isis loved her husband, Osiris, who was king of the earth. But Osiris was taken by death, torn apart and hidden in pieces. Isis searched for him, wandering the land, her heart unbroken though the path was hard. She gathered each piece with care, binding them with love, with song, with tears. And by her devotion, Osiris lived again. The priestesses remember this. They carry the memory in their songs, in their prayers, in the way they move like flowing water. Their devotion is not only for the past, but for the present, for the land that drinks from the Nile, for the people who rest by its banks, for the souls who long for renewal. One priestess scatters petals across the floor. They fall like stars, soft and fragrant, resting upon the stone. Another raises a sistrum, a sacred rattle, and shakes it gently. Its sound is like the rustle of reeds, like the call of distant birds. Each note awakens the air, reminding it of life, reminding it of joy. The women sway together, their steps slow, their arms lifted. Their robes move like ripples of white water, shifting with every turn. They are not dancers for the eye, but for the spirit. Their movement is offering, their silence prayer. The air grows heavy with fragrance, incense rising, oil burning, flowers breathing. It is the scent of renewal, the scent of life returning after drought. It rests gently upon the heart, easing it into calm, into surrender. Outside, the Nile continues to flow. Its voice is steady, deep, endless. Fish move beneath its surface. Birds rest upon its banks. Crocodiles slide silently through its depths. All life bends toward it, drawn by its gift. The river is like Isis herself, giver of life, healer of wounds, endless in her care. As the waters rise each year, the land is made new. Seeds hidden in the soil awaken. Fields once dry grow green again. And people rejoice, for the river has not failed them. Inside the temple, the priestesses mirror this gift. Their prayers are like floods of spirit. Their songs are like waters rising, touching every heart, renewing every dream. Time passes gently. The torches burn lower, their flames swaying like reeds in soft wind. The songs quiet, the instruments grow still. One by one, the women lower their hands, fold their robes, and bow their heads. The temple rests in silence, yet the silence is not empty. It is full of presence, full of breath, full of unseen warmth. The goddess is here, not as a figure carved in stone, not as an image upon a wall, but as a spirit, a hush, a steady light within the flame of every heart. The daughters of the Nile sit close together. They close their eyes. Their breathing slows. Their thoughts fall away as leaves fall into a stream. They enter stillness, trusting the river to carry them, trusting the goddess to guide them. The night stretches onward. The Nile flows on. Stars shine above the temple roof, countless and eternal. The moon drifts across the sky, her silver light pouring down like milk across stone. All things move, yet all things are calm, and you, gentle dreamer, drift with them. You feel the river's flow within your own breath. You feel the goddess's care within your own heart. Like the land beside the Nile, you are nourished. Like the soil beneath the flood, you are renewed. The fragrance lingers. The music echoes faintly. The silence holds you. You are safe within this temple, safe within the arms of the night. Now the ritual rests. The flame glows steady. The river sings in the distance. The stars return to their places in the sky. The priestesses remain in stillness, their prayers woven into the night itself. And you too may rest now, held by their song, carried by their river, watched over by their goddess. The Nile flows on. The goddess watches still. And now, you drift onward, into calm, into renewal, into dreams as endless as the river itself. The mountains are quiet. Twilight folds itself across the hills, and the last light of the sun fades into soft gold and violet. Shadows lengthen, stretching like gentle arms over stone and earth. A hush spreads through the valleys, as if the whole land is holding its breath. High upon the slope, the temple rests. Its pillars gleam pale beneath the fading sky. Steps climb toward its doors, worn smooth by countless feet, by pilgrims who came with questions, with offerings, with hope. The temple waits in stillness, the air around it cool, the stones warm with memory. Beneath this sacred place lies a cave. It is a chamber of shadows, a hollow carved by time and silence. The air is scented faintly with herbs, with burning laurel, with the smoke of pine. A small spring murmurs within, its voice soft and steady, a silver thread winding through the stone. Here, in this cave, the oracle breathes. She is a woman wrapped in linen, her hair braided with ribbons of white. Her eyes drift half-closed, her lips parted as if speaking not with her own voice, but with the voice of something greater. She is not alone. Around her, priestesses keep gentle watch. They carry torches that flicker like fireflies, casting light upon the stone walls. They move slowly, quietly, as though each step were part of a dream. The oracle sits upon a low seat carved of rock. Before her, a bowl of water reflects the flame of the torches. The smoke of laurel rises, curling into shapes that vanish as quickly as they appear. The spring flows nearby, its sound mingling with her breath, as though the earth itself is whispering. Her trance is deep. Her head tilts as if listening to voices unseen. Her body sways gently, like a reed touched by wind. When she speaks, her voice is soft, yet it carries. It carries like water flowing into every crack, into every space. It is not hurried, it is not sharp. It drifts like mist, like a lullaby woven from silence itself. The words she speaks are not only for kings and warriors. They are for those who come with quiet hearts, for those who carry worries like heavy stones, for those who wish to know that life will guide them where they must go. Outside the cave, the night thickens. Stars appear one by one, like candles lit in the heavens. The moon rises over the mountains, bathing the temple in silver light. Cypress trees sway in the gentle breeze, their branches whispering as though repeating the oracle's words in secret tones. A traveler stands at the entrance. He has journeyed far, carrying his questions, carrying his doubts. He bows his head before entering, stepping into the hush of the cave. The torches flicker as he passes. The air wraps around him, cool and fragrant, heavy with meaning. The priestesses guide him forward. They ask nothing. They offer no judgment. They lead him to sit in the shadows, where he may listen, where he may rest. The oracle begins to speak again. Her words flow slowly, like drops of water from the spring. Each word is soft, yet it lands deep, steady as the rhythm of breath. She speaks of paths that unfold like rivers. She speaks of choices that rise like branches of a tree. She speaks of time not as a chain, but as a circle, ever returning, ever renewing. Her voice carries neither command nor demand. It is gentle guidance, as though the future is not fixed, but tender, like clay in warm hands. The traveler listens. His eyes close. The weight he carried begins to loosen, to soften, to dissolve. The oracle's words flow into him, not as answers carved in stone, but as whispers, as comfort, as a reminder that the journey is not meant to be rushed. The priestesses move in quiet rhythm around the cave. One scatters bay leaves upon the ground. Their scent rises, sharp yet soothing, mingling with the smoke of pine. Another pours water from the spring into a small vessel, lifting it toward the moonlight streaming in from above. The water glitters like liquid silver, like light that has been gathered in a bowl. The cave hums with these small acts. Every gesture is a prayer. Every sound is part of the song. Even silence itself feels alive, like a companion, like a hand resting gently on the heart. In the myths, Apollo is the one who speaks through the oracle. He is the god of light, of prophecy, of music and healing. It is said his voice passes through her lips, his wisdom woven into her breath. Yet those who listen know something more. They know that the oracle's whisper is not only of the gods, but of the earth, of the spring, of the fire, of the wind that moves through the mountains. Her words are the voice of many things, the voice of stars guiding with their slow, steady glow, the voice of rivers, teaching that all flows, all changes, all returns, the voice of trees, whose roots hold the earth, whose branches touch the sky. Her whisper is the whisper of life itself. The traveler bows his head as her words wash over him. He does not cling to their meaning. He does not search for clarity. He lets them fall around him like soft rain, like leaves drifting to the ground. He feels lighter. He feels calm. The oracle's trance deepens. Her breath slows. Her voice quiets, until it is little more than a murmur, like wind through tall grass. Then even that sound fades, and only the spring continues to speak. Steady, endless, sure. The priestesses lower their torches. The cave darkens, shadows stretching long across the stone. Yet there is no fear in this darkness. It is gentle. It is restful. It is like the closing of eyes at the end of a long day. Outside, the night has ripened. The stars blaze more brightly, their light reflected in the marble of the temple above. Owls call from the trees, their voices low and haunting, yet soft. The wind brushes against the stones, carrying with it the scent of pine, of earth, of distance. The traveler leaves the cave. He steps once more into the open air. The mountains stretch before him, bathed in moonlight, vast and eternal. His heart is quiet now. The questions he carried feel small, almost forgotten. The oracle's whisper remains within him, not as an answer, but as a calmness, a trust, a gentle flame that will not go out. The priestesses remain in the cave. They tend the fire. They tend the spring. They tend the silence that surrounds the oracle as she rests. They know the whispers will return tomorrow, as the sun rises, as pilgrims gather once again, as the world continues its endless turning. For now, all is still. All is safe. All is held in the embrace of night. And you, dreamer, are held too. You are seated beside that spring. You hear its steady song. You feel the cool stone beneath your hand. the warmth of the torches fading to soft glow. You breathe the air heavy with laurel, with pine, with earth. You rest in the presence of the oracle, her whisper flowing into your heart like a lullaby, like a mother's hand smoothing your brow. Her words need not be clear. They need not be sharp. They are simply a reminder that you are guided, that you are safe, that the path ahead will unfold in its time. The stars above watch with quiet eyes. The moon pours her silver light across the mountains, across the temple, across the cave. The spring continues to murmur, its voice never ending, a thread weaving through night and day alike. You are part of this rhythm now. Your breath is the river, your heart is the flame, your mind is the sky, wide and endless, filled with stars that shine with patient light. Rest now, gentle listener. The oracle has spoken. The mountains hold you. The night carries you. The stars return to their places above. Let yourself drift with them. Let yourself soften as the oracle's whisper lingers. Let yourself dream as the spring continues its song. The voice of the night is tender. The path of tomorrow is waiting. For now there is only rest. Now close your eyes and drift onward as the oracle's whisper carries you into sleep. The night is deep. The northern forests stand tall, their dark trunks rising like silent guardians. Snow drapes the earth in a gentle blanket, soft and endless, glowing faintly under the pale light of the moon. The air is cool, crisp, filled with stillness, broken only by the faint crackle of ice upon branches. Above, the stars shimmer, bright, cold, eternal. They gleam like tiny sparks scattered across the velvet sky. It is here, in this land of frost and evergreen, that old stories whisper. Stories of women who sat by sacred wells. Stories of fate spun like golden threads, stretched across the loom of the cosmos. Stories of the Norns, keepers of time, guardians of life, voices that speak in silence. At the roots of Yggdrasil, the great world tree, the Norns sit. They are three, yet more than three. They are young and old, present and eternal. Their names are Urdur, Verdandi, and Skuld. Past, present, and what is yet to come. By the well of fate, they weave. Water drips softly into the roots, shining as it falls like silver rain. The tree drinks from this well, its branches reaching high into the heavens, its roots stretching deep into the unseen. The Norns dip their hands into the water, then smooth it upon the bark, keeping the tree alive, keeping all worlds in balance. And as they weave, their fingers move with quiet grace. The loom hums, invisible yet endless. Threads of gold, threads of shadow, threads of every color glimmer in their hands. Each thread is a life. Each thread is a story. Each thread is a spark, shining for a time, then blending back into the great fabric. In the villages of the north, seeresses once told of this weaving. They were women of wisdom, women of sight. They sat before fires wrapped in furs, their voices low and steady. They cast runes upon the ground, each symbol a doorway, each mark a whisper of what might come. Those who listened did not always hear answers. Instead, they felt a rhythm, a reminder that life itself is a pattern, unfolding thread by thread. Sometimes the seeress would gaze upward. Her eyes would follow the shimmer of the northern lights, green and violet waves dancing across the black sky. To her, these lights were the loom made visible. The breath of the Norns stretched across the heavens, weaving the stories of gods and mortals alike. The nights in these lands were long. Snow muffled the sound of footsteps. Wind sang through the pines, its voice hollow and low. Fires burned slowly, their light casting circles of gold upon wooden walls. Inside the longhouses, stories of the Norns drifted like lullabies. Children curled against their mothers, hearing how Urdur guarded the memory of all that had been, how Verdandi spun the thread of this very moment, how Skuld held what was yet to arrive, her hand hidden, her face veiled, her silence deep. The stories soothed them, reminding them that even in hardship, even in cold, they were part of something vast, a weaving too great to see, but gentle enough to carry them forward. The seeresses carried staffs carved with symbols. They wrapped them in wool, in ribbons, in feathers of birds that crossed both land and sea. When they touched the staff to the earth, it was as though roots grew from it, reaching into unseen soil, calling upon the wisdom of the deep. Their voices often moved like chants, slow and steady, each word stretched like the pull of thread between fingers. People closed their eyes as they listened, swaying slightly, letting the rhythm cradle them, letting the sound carry them into dreamlike calm. for it was never about knowing every detail of tomorrow. It was about remembering that life itself is cared for, that every thread belongs, that the fabric is whole even when a single strand feels fragile. The Norns were not feared. They were not harsh. They were quiet and steady like the movement of stars across the night sky. They whispered that time is not to be rushed, that the past is never lost, that the present is sacred, and that the future will arrive like dawn, no matter how long the night may feel. When people struggled, when their hearts were heavy, they were told to think of the loom, to imagine themselves as a thread, woven not alone, but beside others, crossing and joining, forming patterns too wide for eyes to see. In this thought there was peace. In this vision there was rest. The northern sky is vast tonight. You stand beneath it, wrapped in fur, listening to the silence. The snow crunches softly under your feet, then stops. You lift your eyes upward. The aurora moves slowly, green waves folding, violet strands shimmering, silver sparks gliding across the horizon. It feels as if unseen fingers are weaving above you. The sky becomes a loom. The stars become beads upon the thread. The lights ripple as though someone is gently pulling them, guiding them into shape. You feel small beneath it, yet not lost. You feel part of it, carried by it, woven into its vast embrace. The seeress stands nearby. Her staff rests upon the snow. Her eyes are half closed, reflecting the aurora. She breathes slowly, as if she too is listening, as if she too is being woven. Her voice drifts softly, no louder than the wind. She speaks of threads shining like rivers, threads dark as winter nights, threads golden as firelight. She speaks of how they meet, cross, and part. She speaks of how every life, no matter how small, touches the loom, adds to the fabric, gives it meaning. Her words soothe you. They remind you that nothing is wasted. They remind you that even pain becomes part of the pattern, balanced by joy, balanced by rest. The weaving is greater than what the eye can see. The night deepens further. The stars wheel slowly above. The aurora fades to a softer glow, then brightens again, like the breath of the sky itself. The snow continues to fall, each flake a tiny thread drifting downward, finding its place upon the earth. You close your eyes. You feel the weight of blankets upon you like furs pulled close, like the embrace of the loom itself. You hear the hum of weaving, faint, steady, endless. It is the hum of your heartbeat. It is the rhythm of your breath. The loom is not only in the heavens, it is in you. It is in every rise and fall of your chest. It is in the quiet turning of your thoughts into dreams. The seeress lowers her staff. She steps back into the shadows of the trees. Her figure fades, yet her presence remains. She is part of the weaving now, part of the threads that bind sky to earth, past to present, present to future. The Norns continue their work at the roots of Yggdrasil. Their fingers never rest. Their loom never stills. But you need not watch it. You need not hold it. You need only rest within it. Now the snow is deeper. The stars shine brighter. The northern lights ripple one last time like a lullaby sung across the heavens. The sky quiets. The night cradles you. You are a thread. You are part of the weaving. You are safe in the fabric of fate. Rest now. Let the hum of the loom carry you. Let the snow cover you like a blanket. Let the stars shine over you like gentle candles. The Norns keep their watch. The threads are held. The pattern continues. Let us drift onward. Now rest, as the stars return to their silent watch above the northern sky. Night folds around the land. The air is gentle and cool, carrying the soft perfume of damp earth and wild herbs. A silver moon hangs above, pouring pale light over the hills, where forests wait like quiet temples. You walk slowly, as though guided, into the deep embrace of trees. Each step is softened by moss, each breath touched by the sweetness of hidden flowers. This is the grove, ancient, secret, and alive. The branches arch like vaulted ceilings woven into natural cathedrals. Here, time is hushed. Here, whispers move not with voices, but with leaves, with roots, with unseen life. The Druids knew this silence well. In their sacred groves, the world was alive with meaning. They saw the oak as wisdom, the ash as bridge, the yew as passage into eternity. Among them were women whose lives were bound to the trees, keepers of herbs, healers of wounds, singers of old hymns. They did not raise stone temples. The forest itself was their sanctuary. Listen, a soft rhythm, like the breath of the earth, A circle of women gathers beneath the largest oak. Its trunk is wide, its crown so vast it seems to hold the sky. Their hands carry baskets of mistletoe and meadow flowers. Their voices rise, not loud, not sharp, but flowing like streams. A chant, low and steady, like a lullaby meant for the night itself. The fire nearby glows golden. It does not roar. It flickers gently, as though bowing to the moon. Herbs are placed upon the flames, and a sweet smoke curls upward, slow as a dream. It smells of sage and thyme, of healing and rest. The women close their eyes, breathing it in. With each breath, the world grows softer. With each breath, the heart feels steadier. In their lore, every plant had spirit. Every tree carried memory. A leaf was not just a leaf, but a message from the unseen. The oak gave strength. The birch gave renewal. The elder tree gave passage from this world to the next. To touch the bark was to touch wisdom. To sip a tea of herbs was to sip the kindness of the earth itself. A young woman steps forward, her hair dark as raven's wings, braided with wild flowers. She kneels beside the fire and lays down a small branch of holly. Her voice, almost a whisper, tells of the turning of seasons. Holly for winter, ivy for the long endurance, oak for the rising sun of summer. In her words, the cycle is gentle, eternal, without haste. The grove listens. The stars above lean closer. You drift deeper into the hush. Every detail feels alive, yet peaceful. The sound of a distant owl. The rustle of a hedgehog moving through leaves. The slow drip of water from stone to soil. It is all part of the song. A hymn that has no end, no beginning, only presence. Among the women are healers. One carries a pouch of herbs, gathered beneath the morning dew. Chamomile for rest, valerian for peace, lavender for calm dreams. She crushes them between her palms, and their fragrance fills the night. A quiet blessing drifts into the air, like a breeze brushing over the moss. To those who were weary, these herbs brought gentle sleep. To those who were troubled, they carried reassurance. Always, the forest offered its hand. They say the grove itself was guarded, not with weapons but with spirit. The oaks held memory so strong that no unkind step could remain. The air was a veil, so soft that only hearts willing to listen could enter. Here the veil between worlds grew thin. One could feel ancestors walking unseen paths, hear the voices of rivers speaking, sense the patience of stone. You pause beside a yew tree. Its trunk twists in quiet grace, old beyond counting. It feels like time made solid. Legends told that the yew guarded the mysteries of death and rebirth. Its roots ran deep into shadow, while its branches reached toward light. The women honored it with silence. To sit beneath it was to rest between worlds, to breathe both endings and beginnings. The chant around the fire grows softer now. It is no longer for calling or invoking. It is for soothing, like a mother humming to her child. The women's voices weave together, each tone a thread of calm. They sing of rivers flowing, of wind moving through grass, of stars that never tire. Their song is not for glory, but for balance. Not for power, but for peace. The night deepens. Mist gathers among the roots. The grove glows faintly in the silver light, like a dream you can touch. The women move slowly, each gesture careful, each breath part of the prayer. One places water from a clay bowl at the base of the oak. Another lays herbs upon the stone, gifts to the unseen. Every act is gentle. Every offering is quiet gratitude. You feel yourself drifting. The fire flickers, the smoke rises. The air is filled with scents of earth and leaves, of flowers pressed long ago. The grove holds you like a cradle of branches. Every sound is a lullaby. Every shadow is kind. The Druids believed the forest remembered, that every step left an echo, that every whisper was carried into the roots. In this way, nothing was lost. Every prayer, every hope, every sorrow was woven into the soil. And so the grove was more than trees. It was a memory, a spirit, a living heart. Slowly the women gather their baskets. They leave the fire to fade, the smoke to wander upward. The oak stands watchful, unmoving, eternal. The night holds steady, calm, and endless. Their footsteps vanish into the mist, light as falling leaves, and you remain, resting in the quiet, as if the earth itself is breathing beside you. The forest sighs. The stars return to their patient shining. The moss cradles you with softness, and the sacred grove, guardian of peace, folds you gently into its song. Now drift onward, into dreams as tender as leaf and root, into silence as soothing as starlight. The guardians remain, watching with the patience of oaks, as you rest, as you breathe, as sleep gathers like mist upon your soul. The night has grown still. Lanterns glow like small moons, their light trembling against wooden beams. Beyond the gates, a path of smooth stones leads inward. Cicadas sing faintly in the summer dark, while a soft wind carries the fragrance of pine. The shrine waits, wrapped in silence, its roof rising like gentle wings. Step by step, the world slows. The sound of water trickles from a stone basin. It whispers as it flows, washing dust from hands, cooling the air. Here, every detail is tender, measured, and calm. The wood of the shrine is smooth with time, polished by countless prayers. The bells above the gate shimmer when touched, their notes clear and small, like drops of silver. Within the courtyard, the air deepens into quiet. Candles flicker along the path. Their flames bow and sway, but never break. Each flame is like a spirit, alive with stillness, breathing softly in the dark. At the heart of the shrine, the Miko gather. Shrine maidens dressed in white robes and red skirts. Their sleeves fall like flowing streams, their faces serene as moonlight. Each carries a bell, tied with ribbon, or a branch of evergreen, fresh and green. They move as though in a dream, each step gliding, each turn like the slow unfurling of a blossom. Their dance is not hurried. It is as quiet as dawn rising over water. They lift their sleeves, and the air stirs like wind through reeds. They bow low, and silence deepens, filling the night with reverence. The bells they carry tremble in soft rhythm, ringing gently, never loud, never sharp. Each sound feels like a ripple across still water. The dance is for the kami, spirits of the unseen, guardians of mountain, river, and tree, spirits of hearth and home, of wind and fire. The maidens do not shout their prayers. They let the prayer move through their bodies. Every turn, every bow, every step is a quiet offering. Their sleeves shine in the lantern light, moving like pale wings, like drifting clouds across a summer sky. The onlookers watch in silence. Their hearts ease as the dance flows before them. The stillness of the shrine folds around them like silk. Even those with heavy worries feel them softening, melting into the rhythm of bells and breath. For in the dance, nothing is forced. It is as natural as water running downhill, as certain as dawn returning after night. Behind the maidens, the shrine doors remain closed. What lies within is unseen, but always felt. The kami are not distant. They are present in the wind that brushes the lantern flames. They are present in the rustle of leaves outside the gates. They are present in the breath of the watchers, in the gentle steps of the dancers. To honor them is to move in harmony, to remember that life itself is sacred. A maiden lifts a branch of sakaki, evergreen and strong. She bows, then raises it to the sky. Her sleeves ripple. Her bell sings softly. The branch, with its glossy leaves, is a bridge between seen and unseen. She offers it as a prayer without words, a message carried into mystery. The smoke of incense curls upward, mingling with the fragrance of pine. The air grows sweet, filled with peace. The dance continues. One step forward, one step back. The bells ring gently, and the sound lingers like starlight. Each maiden moves as though guided by wind, as though the air itself lifts her sleeves and carries her along. Her face remains calm, her eyes lowered, her breath steady. The silence between bells is as powerful as the ringing itself. It is a silence that heals, a silence that embraces. Beyond the shrine, the forest leans close. Tall cedars stand like guardians, their trunks rising straight and high. The night is deep, but never heavy. It feels alive, listening, aware. Every branch, every stone seems to breathe with the dance. The kami linger here, quiet as stars, patient as rivers. As the maidens move, you feel your own breath slowing. Your thoughts loosen, drifting like petals upon water. The bells echo softly within you, each note fading into calm. The dance teaches without speaking. It reminds you that prayer need not be words, that devotion can live in stillness, in a step, in the simple act of breathing with care. The flames of the lanterns flicker lower, but they do not fade. Their glow warms the night, gold against the deep blue air. The maidens bow, sleeves folding around them like wings returning to rest. Their bells fall silent, though the echo remains, tender and long. The forest exhales. The night grows deeper. The shrine grows still. For a moment, nothing moves. Only the soft sound of water at the basin, flowing endlessly, like time itself. Only the faint rustle of wind through cedar leaves. Only the quiet rhythm of your own resting breath. The dance has ended, but the calm remains. The watchers bow their heads. Their hearts are lighter, their spirits soothed. The kami have been honored, and the night has been woven with peace. The maidens step aside, their movements slow and graceful, like streams fading into still pools. They place their bells upon a low altar, ribbons swaying like whispers in the breeze. They fold their hands, silent once more. The shrine returns to quiet, as though the dance was a dream that passed through the world like drifting mist. But its memory remains. It lingers in the air, in the glow of lantern light, in the scent of pine and smoke. It lingers in the heart, soft as a flame that does not burn but warms. The gentle flame of Shinto, a flame that does not end, a flame that calms, a flame that teaches harmony without a word. Now the night grows darker. The stars lean low, their light trembling through the cedar branches. The earth feels steady, holding you close. The shrine, the maidens, the bells, the lanterns, all fold into stillness. All return to rest. Let the dance drift into your dreams. Let the bells ring gently within your heart. Let the gentle flame remain, steady and kind. Now rest as the stars return. Now breathe as the night holds you. The kami watch with quiet patience, as sleep gathers around you like silk, and the gentle flame of Shinto glows softly in the dark. The desert is wide tonight. The air is cool. The sand no longer burns with the heat of the day. A hush rests over the dunes, soft as silk, endless as the horizon. Above, the stars awaken. One by one, they pierce the sky with gentle light, scattered like jewels across velvet. The night is alive, yet quiet, breathing with a rhythm as steady as a sleeping heart. In this vast stillness, a fire glows. Its flames rise and fall, bending in the breath of the wind. Around it, figures gather. Women with scarves drawn over their hair, eyes glimmering in the glow. Children rest at their sides, leaning against woven blankets. The fire crackles softly, each spark lifting like a tiny star to join the sky above. The desert holds silence, but it is not empty. It listens. It listens to the stories, the songs, the soft weaving of voices that rise like threads of light. The women sing. Their tones are low, soothing, carried on the wind as though the stars themselves lean closer to hear. Each word floats gently, joining the night, echoing across the dunes. Their songs are not hurried. They move like the shifting sands, slow, patient, eternal. The melodies are simple, but deep. They carry memory, prayer, and blessing. They tell of stars that guide, of spirits that protect, of mothers who cradle the world in their arms. One woman raises her voice, clear and strong, though still soft as desert wind. She sings of the North Star, steady and unfailing, a lantern for travelers crossing endless emptiness. Her voice is steady, a pillar in the night, reminding all who listen that no one is ever truly lost. Another sings of Orion, the hunter in the sky. His belt of stars shines bright, a path for wanderers, a story carved into eternity. Her song flows into the firelight, her eyes reflecting flames and constellations together. The children listen, their eyes wide with drowsy wonder. The fire warms their skin, but the songs warm their hearts. They hear of the Pleiades, the cluster of sisters that rise each season. The voices tell of their beauty, their light, their bond that cannot be broken. To the children, the stars are not far away. They are kin. They are guardians watching from above. The desert itself becomes part of the song. The sand shifts in soft sighs. The wind hums low across the dunes. The camels kneel in the distance, their breath rising in clouds against the night. Every sound joins the voices of the women, a chorus woven from earth and sky. Long ago, the desert mothers say, stars were the first teachers. They told people when to travel, when to rest. They marked seasons of rain and seasons of drought. They taught patience, reminding all who looked upward that time is vast and each moment has its place. To sing of the stars is to honor memory itself, to keep alive the ancient bond between heaven and earth. A woman bends close to the fire. She draws lines in the sand with her finger, shaping constellations. She traces a scorpion, its tail curved and sharp. The children lean in, watching as sparks fall like tiny embers onto the patterns she makes. Her voice is quiet, almost a whisper telling of strength, of warning, of balance. The desert is harsh, but it is also wise. Every star, every shape carries a lesson. The night deepens. The fire grows smaller, yet still glows steady. The women's voices soften, becoming lullabies. Their songs now drift like feathers, light as sleep itself. They sing not only to the children, but to the stars, to the desert, To the spirits of those who walked before. Each note is a thread, binding the past to the present, the earth to the sky. You drift with them. The fire's glow feels close. The stars above stretch wide. Your breath finds the same rhythm as the songs, slow, unbroken. The desert no longer feels endless. It feels like a cradle, holding you gently. The voices are mothers, guiding you through the night. The women's scarves flutter in the wind. The firelight touches their faces with warmth. Their eyes reflect the stars, as though each woman carries a constellation within her. They are keepers of memory, guardians of stories, singers of peace. Their voices rise, then fall. The lullabies grow softer, melting into the desert hush. A child yawns, curling close beneath a blanket. Another lays their head in their mother's lap, eyes heavy, breathing slow. The women smile, their voices even softer now, as though singing directly into dreams. The stars wheel above, steady, unblinking, eternal. The desert night is vast, but it feels safe, wrapped in song. As the fire fades to embers, the women's voices drift into silence. The wind carries the last notes upward, as if offering them to the sky. The constellations remain, glowing with calm. The mothers lift their eyes, and for a moment everything is one. The fire, the sand, the stars, the song, the silence. The desert holds you, vast and kind. The stars guide you, patient and eternal. The voices linger even in silence like the afterglow of flame. Now let the songs become part of your breath. Let the fire's warmth soften into dreams. Let the desert's endless hush surround you. Rest as the stars return. Sleep as the voices fade into the night. The mothers of the desert stars watch gently, their lullabies still woven through the sands, and you drift onward, wrapped in light, carried by the calm of the infinite sky. The night is calm by the shore. The air carries the taste of salt, soft and cool upon the lips. The sea breathes slowly, waves folding in and folding out like the gentle rise and fall of slumber. The sand glimmers under moonlight, tiny shells glowing pale as stars fall into earth. Far away, a single lantern flickers on the cliff, marking the temple where the sea priestesses keep their watch. The temple is not large, not towering, but quiet and open, shaped to welcome the wind and the tide. Columns rise like pale trees, their stones smoothed by centuries of salt and storm. Between them, soft fabrics flutter, dyed in shades of deep blue and white foam. Torches burn low, their flames bending in the sea breeze, their light golden against the silver of the night. Within, the priestesses gather. Their steps are slow, their robes brushing against the stone like the whisper of waves. Hair braided with seashells catches the moonlight, glimmering like wet pearls. Each woman carries a small bowl of water, drawn from the sea itself. Their arms move in rhythm, swaying like tides, as though the ocean breathes through them. The ritual is simple, but its power lies in gentleness. They pour the water into a great basin of stone, carved long ago with dolphins, fish, and spirals of waves. The water shimmers in the basin, catching the light of the moon, rippling softly as though alive. It is said, the goddess of the sea listens here, in the sound of the waves echoing within the stone. The priestesses begin their dance. Bare feet touch the cool marble, moving in slow circles, following the rhythm of the tide. Arms rise like waves, fall like waves, turning like the currents beneath the moon. Each step is steady, each motion flowing, as though their bodies remember what the sea has always known. The air fills with the sound of anklets, shells, and beads brushing together. A quiet song of the shore. Outside, the ocean answers. The waves roll closer, then slip away. Foam lingers at the edge of the sand, glowing white as starlight. The tide itself seems to join the ritual, echoing the dance, keeping time with the movements of the women. The priestesses sing, their voices low, steady, unhurried. They do not sing of sorrow nor of storm, but of calm waters, of safe harbors, of the deep rest that the sea brings. Their words are old, so old they feel like part of the tide itself. No one remembers the first time they were sung, for they have always belonged to the sea. The children of the island listen from the edges of the temple. Some curl against their mothers, some rest their heads on woven mats, eyes half closed. The sound of the sea and the sound of the priestesses blur together, one long lullaby. The children breathe slowly, their chests rising and falling like little tides. Sleep draws near, carried by the rhythm of the shore. In the heart of the temple, one priestess kneels by the basin. She lowers her hand into the water, letting the ripples spread outward. The light of the moon bends across her skin, turning it silver. With a slow voice, she speaks of the goddess, the mother of waves, the keeper of shells, the one who rocks the world in her endless cradle of blue. Her words are not command nor plea, only remembrance, soft as the hush of foam on sand. Another priestess scatters petals into the water, white lilies, touched by the scent of salt. They float gently, drifting as though moved by a hidden current. To the islanders, each petal is a prayer, a wish, a memory carried out to sea. The water holds them all, rocking them softly, never letting them sink. The dance continues, slower now, like the last light of evening fading into night. The women turn with grace, arms weaving through the air, feet marking gentle patterns upon the stone. The shells in their braids rattle faintly, like waves over pebbles. The firelight bends, the shadows sway, and the sea beyond remains steady, breathing with them. Far below the cliffs, the ocean whispers against the rocks. It tells stories older than temples, older than songs, older than the memory of humankind. The sea remembers everything. It remembers the first boats, the first prayers, the first mothers who carried their children across its waters. It remembers loss, and it remembers love, and it keeps them both in silence, cradled in its depths. The priestesses move as though they too remember. They are not only dancers, they are keepers of the tide's memory, mothers of the shoreline, singers of the endless lullaby. Each gesture they make is a blessing, each turn a promise, each song a thread woven back into the sea. You drift with them. You feel the air cool on your skin, the salt brushing your lips. You hear the water folding in and folding out again and again. The rhythm steadies your breath, slows your thoughts, draws you deeper into rest. The sea is vast, but it feels safe, a cradle without end. Torches burn lower. The petals float still upon the basin, the water glowing silver. The priestesses' voices grow softer until they are almost whispers. The dance becomes stillness, as though even the waves have chosen to rest. The night is wide, but no longer lonely. It is filled with calm, filled with song, filled with the breath of the sea. The children sleep now, their dreams quiet, their bodies wrapped in the hush of the tide. The priestesses smile gently, watching them, watching the waves. They know the sea has carried the prayers, carried the petals, carried the songs far out into its heart. The goddess has heard, and she has answered in silence. The fire fades to embers. The fabric above sways in the breeze. The ocean continues its endless rhythm, patient and eternal. The temple rests, the island rests, the sea rests, and so you rest too. The tide carries you gently. The priestesses' voices linger in the air, low as the hum of the earth. The sea itself sings you into slumber. Now drift onward, like a petal across the tide. Now rest as the stars above return to the quiet water. The sea holds you, the goddess watches, and the night cradles you. Like the endless gentle waves, the night grows deep. The stars above shine as silver lanterns, steady and watchful. The earth grows quiet as though listening. You drift softly into a place beyond time. It is not bound by one land, nor one sea, nor one temple. It is a realm woven of memory, of dream, of eternal song. Here all who kept the sacred flame gather. Mothers of the desert stars, priestesses of the sea, dancers beneath the oaks, singers by the fire. They are not separate now. They are threads of one endless tapestry, voices of the same gentle breath. The divine feminine, timeless, eternal, soft as the hush of dawn, vast as the silence of night. The air in this realm feels like both water and wind. It flows around you, cool, steady, soothing as it moves. Shadows and light fold into one another, neither sharp nor harsh, but blending, like ink drifting through clear water. Every sound carries an echo, yet no echo fades. It is as if all voices ever spoken are still present, still alive, still humming softly in the air. In the distance stands no single temple, but many. Stone arches rise like cliffs carved with stars and shells. Columns of cedar and oak sway as though alive. Shrines glow with lamps of oil, their flames bending but never breaking. Each temple touches the next, flowing into one another until they become one vast sanctuary. This is the meeting place, the heart of memory, the cradle of every prayer whispered by women's lips across the ages. From every path, they come. You see them walking with quiet steps, their robes brushing the floor like leaves on moss. Some wear veils of desert silk, glimmering like the horizon. Some carry bowls of water, still reflecting the moon. Others wear garlands of oak leaves or braids of seashells or beads of bone carved by ancient hands. All are calm, all are radiant, all move as though guided by the same eternal rhythm. They gather in a great circle. There is no throne, no crown, no rule. Only the shared presence, the shared stillness. Voices rise, low and steady, like many streams flowing together into a river. They do not speak in one tongue, yet the sound is understood. It is not words alone, but tones, hums, breaths, the pure language of spirit. A song older than language, a lullaby without end. You drift closer. You feel the sound pass through you, soft as wind in the grass, gentle as water around stone. It lingers in your chest, steadying your breath, slowing your thoughts. The song carries many memories, yet all of them are tender. You sense stories within the sound. A mother rocking a child by a desert fire. A priestess scattering petals into moonlit water. A healer tracing herbs with her hand before dawn. A dancer raising her arms to the oak, letting the breeze move through her. Each memory is a note, each note part of the harmony. In the center of the circle stands no figure, yet a light glows. It is not fire, not flame, but a radiance like the pearl of dawn before the sun. It flickers gently, swaying like breath, shining neither too bright nor too dim. The women turn toward it, their faces serene, their movements slow. This light is the presence of the divine feminine itself, not bound to one form, but carried in all forms. It is the breath of the goddess, the cradle of the mother, the echo of every gentle soul who has ever kept the flame. One priestess steps forward. Her voice is quiet, but it carries. She speaks not of names, not of borders, but of essence. Where there is care, she says, the feminine abides. Where there is song, the feminine lingers. Where there is rest, the feminine guards. Her words drift outward like ripples, and every heart in the circle bends toward them. Another priestess lowers her hands into the light. She lifts them slowly, and from her palms fall tiny sparks, glowing like drifting stars. They scatter through the circle, landing on the shoulders of those gathered. The sparks do not burn but soothe. They feel like warmth upon the skin, like the memory of a kind touch. They glow, then melt into the air, leaving only calm behind. The song continues, slower now, deepening. It flows like a tide moving out, carrying the listener gently with it. You feel yourself floating, not above nor below, but within this harmony. Every breath you take joins the rhythm. Every heartbeat falls into the same soft pattern. The circle holds you, though you are but a drifting shadow here. The divine feminine does not exclude. It embraces all, even those who wander only in dream. As the circle moves, the air begins to shimmer. The walls of temples dissolve. The floor of stone turns to sand, then to water, then to earth, then to sky. You realize there are no walls in this realm. It has always been the world itself. The mountains, the rivers, the seas, the deserts, the groves, all are the temple. The priestesses only remind you of what was always here. They bow their heads now, slowly in unison. The song drifts into silence, leaving only the sound of breathing, the sound of waves, the sound of wind. It is quiet, yet not empty. It is full, overflowing with presence. The silence itself is alive, holding you tenderly, as a mother holds a child close against her heart. One last image remains, a single thread of silver light stretching across the darkness. It winds through stars, through seas, through roots, through fire. It binds every voice you have heard, every figure you have seen into one endless weave. The eternal feminine, not lost, never broken, never gone. It moves within you as it moves within all. Now the realm fades. The temples dissolve back into shadow. The priestesses turn and walk softly into the mist. Their shells, their veils, their anklets vanish into the quiet. Only the echo remains, a soft hum, like the earth's own breath. And you, too, are drawn into rest. The stars lean low, calm and steady. The sea grows still, its waves folding into dreams. The desert wind quiets, the fire burns low, the oak stands silent. Everything is at peace. Let yourself drift onward now. Let the echo of the eternal feminine carry you. It lingers in your breath, in your heart, in the hush around you. You do not need to hold it. It will remain. It will cradle you as you sleep. Now rest as the stars return. Now rest as the waters hush. Now rest as the ancient voices sing on softly, endlessly within you, the eternal echoes of the divine feminine, always here, always near, always guiding you into gentle, dream-filled night.